5 minutes past the top of the hour, so we can go ahead and start while others, trickle in. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Trust everybody's doing well. This is our monthly support call. It's the open mic. Here we bring our practitioners to come in and then share their career journeys with us. We get to meet them and then they give us, tips and tricks they learned in the, industry, and then give us words of advice. We do this every first Saturday of the month. We also have another session, which is a product deep dive, where we also call our practitioners, get to meet them. Then they actually look at a particular product or topic, and then they go ahead and demystify it and give us a product demo on there, giving us use cases or examples or scenarios where it's been used. And then in all of these sessions, they go ahead to answer our questions, and provide us with, pretty much expert advice, if you will, or prescriptive guidance. So we do have Temitope on the call. She's here early as well as everyone else. So we thank you for, showing up on here. So we'll get right to the business of the day. Um, as always, we like to meet the practitioners. So the first question we have, it's a bit about yourself, but a bit of housekeeping. You can use the chat feature. You can also use the emojis, or raise your hands if you have a question. You can put it in the chat. We'll definitely get to it. So whichever one works, just make sure each one should already be muted already. But just in case, be mindful, if you have background noise around you, just as an FYI. Um, Temi, over to you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Talabi. I'm here in the Sunshine State of Texas. I'm a data analyst, and I transitioned to a business analyst role a few years back, but then got the opportunity to work on a ServiceNow project. So that was my introduction to ServiceNow, and I've been loving it ever since. I'm excited about digital transformation and the role ServiceNow is playing in this space, because ServiceNow is giving everyone an opportunity to be part of it. The things that I to do, my hobbies, I like to entertain, so a lot of cooking. I like to garden, and I like to dance. So that's it about me.
Good deal, good deal. You like to do all of those good things. So it's a beauty, because that's really what it is. Um, you okay? You have you say you're digitized already? Okay, good deal, good deal. And that's the truth. I mean, you gotta you gotta want to do something outside of work, which is actually where we had our next question, which is a wonderful one. I like that. So you already told us you like to, garden, you like to do other things outside of work and things like that. So I'll go ahead and ask the next question. Um, Other than cooking uh, or gardening, what exactly else do you have to recharge, other than cooking or gardening? What else do you do?
To recharge, well, I like to meditate. I like
Okay, good.
to travel. I like the ocean. There's something about the ocean that just relaxes me and fascinates me. And dancing for sure. Dancing. I don't even know if you can dance anywhere. You don't even have to be next to the ocean or anything like that. You just need a music. And as Nigeria now, that helps me recharge. Just take time off work, and
Uh,
I pace myself with work. I don't. I've done it before. I've been burnt out. I don't risk it. Trying to go overboard and things like that. So I pace myself and take it easy.
Awesome, awesome. That's a good one. I see Richard has joined us already, so we will take him and get him up to speed. Richard, let's get to meet you. We're on the second question. So this is for us to have you get us caught up. So tell us a bit about yourself and what you do outside of work to recharge. So if we can get to meet you, and then you go ahead and give us what you do outside of work to recharge. Thank you. So Richard, we can't hear you. It doesn't look like you're muted, but you might have to, maybe if you're using a head jack or a Bluetooth connection, you might want to take that out and reconnect it and see. That way it will work. Just in case.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, this is better. Go ahead. You can give us a run through. I think we hear you 1 minute, and then we stop hearing you. I don't know if it's just me. Can you all hear anything?
Can you give me some minute? I'll get back to you.
Okay, sure thing. That works. All right. So okay, not from Richard. Okay, yeah, I think the network will be bad, or the connection that he has. Um, So one thing's for certain, you must have a life outside of work. So meditation is a great one, and and nature, like you said, the ocean. Sometimes you imagine it's like when you're making those trips. 1 minute you're here, and then the next minute, you're on the other end. So it's always good, that way you can, pretty much get context or perspective, and your own side of your own side of the coin is only one side, so there's always the other side, so you can always get that. So it's a good one. I'm always happy. So how do you stay up to date with technology trends, because right now we have the AI, Gen AI, everybody's kind of like buzzed all over the place. I remember back in the day when people were saying that the analyst job would disappear one time. But how do you stay up to date with all this technology changes or evolution? Yeah.
Well, I try to just keep, studying. Like by the nature of what we do, you're learning, different things all the time. So you're on YouTube, you're on, Dev, you're on the doc website, you have knowledge that ServiceNow provides. I mean, just with ServiceNow alone, you have so many courses, so many trainings, so many certifications. So I keep myself busy with that when I'm not working, like maybe on a project. And you also have YouTube where we do a lot of learning, and then being part of a community of practice like this. Anona Makeup is always posting all the different new things that are available from ServiceNow, or anything that is pertinent to the work that we do. So it's very integral to my career success that I keep up with these things and not just take them for granted, because it's moving really fast, and before you know it, you become obsolete. So yeah, those are the things that I found helpful in keeping up.
Good deal. Good deal. Richard, do we have you now? Do you want to provide us the answer that you have? I think it might have to do with the with the connection. You might have to drop off and come back in, or you want to, if you're using a headset, you want to take the headset out and use the device's built-in speaker. You might want to do that, because that's the only the thing I see that could be wrong. Because we will hear you a little bit, and then all of a sudden it looks like you're echoing out or stuff like that. But we'll get back to Richard once he gets that fixed. I mean, but that's technology. That's part of why they need us. So it's a good thing. Um, yeah. There's always going to be something new. So one of the power skills that is very, very helpful, not just with pandemic, with even life generally, is continual and continuous learning. So like some people call it lifelong learning. So be always open to new ideas, new concepts. So it's a good one. And then the nature of IT. IT is what IT is. It is concepts that will continue to evolve, and then you have to keep up. Yes, you might find niche areas that you will like, but everything is going to continue to move. So your ability to make sense of it. I mean, you wasn't necessarily need to be an expert, but be able to, if you say you have the documentation, go figure it out. And that's analysis, that's consulting, that's really the business of IT. It's all hands on. So good deal. So the next question we have is to piggy off of that. So what is your own take on training versus certification? What is your own take for the training versus certification conundrum? Thank you.
Well, for me, it's both. Certification will make you familiar with the products because you're gonna have to do some training to get the voucher. That process will give you familiarity with the product. It will give you confidence. It will get you the interviews because then you put it on your resume and then you get the interviews. It makes you stand out. But training is what helps you keep the job. Training is what gets you through the interviews and helps you keep the job. And both of them, you can't do one without the other. I mean, I think it would be the ideal, really, if you can take advantage of both, doing the certifications and get the training. And we are so privileged, in this community to have competent professionals in our community that are committed to training and bringing other people on board to learn this. I know Naimaka is an amazing trainer. He has a genuine interest in the success. And personally, with my own experience, he's been able to propel me, to success, provide me the confidence that I need, even to be able to go for the interviews. The training is hands-on, and it really pushes you to learn and get familiar with the platform. And because there's so much to learn, ServiceNow is huge. So the training kind of gives you just a small view, like a data set, something to focus on. Focus on this. You need to absolutely know this. This is the minimum that you need to know before you go and start doing interviews. And then it kind of gives you the step by step of the certifications that you really need because there's so many certifications. So I find training very beneficial and absolutely necessary to be successful in this journey.
Good deal. That's it. That's the whole idea. You can't do one without the other. It's just like when we go all the way back to even college or high school or even kindergarten. um we would do all the study and the hands-on and everything. Then they would check us with the certification, and then eventually they give you a diploma to come out. But that's the whole idea. Certification is the foot in the door. The certification is the shiny to get you noticed. So it's something that, unlike before, where all you needed to do was come out with a degree and then come in and then walk your way through the ladder. I mean, the days of that, or the days of old, is kind of like far behind us. The certification gives you that competence, that belief that yes, you would be able to figure it out. You don't need to be a master. And so through shade, so it's true. You can feel that. So at some point it's like a money grab. So it's not just for service and for all of them. It's all about money. But the barest minimum that you can have, it would be ideal for you to have them. Something like, if you're looking at the ServiceNow space, uh the ServiceNow administrator, and then the ServiceNow uh app dev, but if you are in the analyst track, or if you're in the product owner track, you want to look at um, implementer certifications for maybe particular application area. So for example, maybe ITSM or HR or customer service or field service or asset management, or vulnerability, depending on the area that you're interested in. You might grab that. But that's not to say that you need to have all of them to go. What do I mean? The baseline is that CSA, because if you get that CSA and then you're in IT, definitely you have a Scrum certification. You also have like the ITIL certification. So with these, you should be grounded and then give you an edge, because a good number of companies that you work for would actually provide you with the resources as part of your continuous professional development or personal career development, if you will, that will provide you with the funding, right, to take care of it. So you do your basic minimum so that you can get your secure the job. um that in that regard, because now that's hunger or that's improvement, especially depending on when you even finish your education. If they see that, they have that belief that yes, if you come in, you wouldn't just be complacent and just stick to one thing. You will always want to improve, and then they seek to gain from that improvement. That's just the key. They seek to gain from it. The hands-on training, that one you can't miss it, because with the whether it's the mock-ups or the use cases, you know those scenarios, you need to keep doing those, because those are implementation tasks. You should be able to go ahead to do them and practice them, because the whole IT thing is all hands-on. It's just like somebody saying that you can build a house. I mean, if it's all theorized, right? You don't know what goes where. Then you're really not able to really build a house, right? It's all in your memory, or it's all in your mindset, right? But if you have done it, like go in there, maybe been tutored on it, and then even shown, okay, put this brick here, put this cement here, or stuff like that, and then brick up on brick up on brick like that. You're well on your way to make sure that, okay, you have a couple of houses to your name, or even an estate to your name, that you actually can accomplish that task. So that's really key in there. So don't forget that part. But that's just the whole thing. There's a synergy between the two. You can't throw away one, because let's say you're all trained up, and then you don't have the certificate to the certifications to show, because so you can come and do and do and do, right? But if you can't communicate it through a resume that says that you're certified, and then they can go and check and validate, they might not want to give you the opportunity. So, and then nobody will know that you're the best candidate to go ahead and deliver for them. Nobody knows that. uh, but if you're working, and then maybe you're working for a partner or a customer who provides you with maybe reimbursements to those money grab, yeah, nothing is free. So if somebody's going to be able to pay for it, you wouldn't mind. I mean, so long as you continue to use that, and then have a higher opportunity to get even paid more, so you should be fine. But good question, good one. That's the truth. Richard, are you good now? Can we test? Are you able to communicate? Hello,
Can you hear me?
hello. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
How's
can you
everything?
hear
How's
me?
your week going? Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, hi. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I couldn't pull my headpiece together.
I know, right? That's technology. At least you were able to figure it out. Those are part of the whole IT speak, figuring it out. You can't have it all the time, all good. And sometimes it would not turn out the way you planned it. So it's a good one. Um, let's get you caught up before we take the next questions. So there are quite a number of questions that we have. Um, let's get you caught up so that we can get to meet you. So So tell us a bit about yourself, and what you do outside of work, to rest and recharge.
Um, well, I do so many things. Because I have background in engineering, so I do some other stuff outside of service now. But I've been within on the ServiceNow platform for like 4 years now. Um, Through the help of you on the program, I'm able to you know um um I mean activate my career in IT, and I started as more like a business analyst. I read to all those documentation you sent me, and um, with the help of the practice over and over, um, I was able to you know get opportunity to work within the ServiceNow platform. 50% as a business analyst, 50% of my responsibility as a ServiceNow developer, and yeah, that's what I've been doing.
So what are the other engineering things that you do outside of work to recharge?
I said that before I fully get into service now full time, I work as a lab chemist, where I do a lot of laboratory testing stuff, like testing of different kind of um like COVID tests, drug testing and stuff. Because my background pulled me towards that direction before I decided to transition IT space.
Good deal. Good deal. So you have family that you always go and relax and then share some of your kind of like, what do you do outside of the work thing? That's what I'm saying. Do you like to cook? Like Tammy likes to cook. Like me, I like to travel. Right? It's just that it's expensive, but I like to do it. But
Yeah.
what do you do outside? That's just the thing.
I think I'm the best. I don't like to buy. On my free time, I take a walk at the park. Sometimes I'll play
Good deal.
basketball just to get me active, just to make me
Mhm.
stay
Good deal.
physical, just to pull myself together.
Good deal. Good deal. You must have a life outside of work, because the work is gonna be there. But we need to make sure that we have that work-life balance, that synergy or strategy that we will use to win, because that's where your creativity comes in. That's where your power or people skill come in. You know how to interact or engage or collaborate with others. You know how to critically think, or dissect or analyze a problem, the whole 9 yards. And then you experience nature. It's very important, especially quick runs, quick walks. Hey, whatever it is, just to keep up, and get your adrenaline up. So yeah. So how do you keep up to date with technologies? How do you keep up to date with technologies?
For me, naturally, I like to learn, continuously, and so like I said, naturally for me, I like to learn new things. So there's new, for example, within the ServiceNow space, there's documentation that comes out, every time. Um, there are videos, there's, some interesting features, and I just gravitate toward the new features. I love to learn, and I like to stay up to date. I don't like to see something I don't know. I'm a very curious person. I will want to investigate. I will want to get better at what I'm doing. Because someday I will have the opportunity to teach other people. Um, whatever I know, the knowledge that I have. So for me, naturally, I like to upgrade. I like to modify the tools. The tools that I have with me in order for me to stay ahead of the process.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. That's your engineering kicking in. Staying updated with
Mhm.
your toolbox. Make sure that you have the latest tools to succeed in there. That's the great thing. And IT is a good outlet for you to do it. IT is a good outlet. So training versus certification. What's your what's your own take in there? I know Temi has given us hers. So what's your take to train or go and certify? I think Shea Guy told us that certification is like a money grabber. I mean, it's all cost money, but you have to find it. So what's your take?
Um, you ask you ask the um I don't I don't really believe in it's not like I don't believe. I don't have so much passion. I'm not passionate about getting certified. I believe in knowing this stuff, right? So I believe in knowing this know the whole process very well. That's I don't know. So certification is just anybody can get a certification. You can memorize some stuff, go write the exam, get the certification. It doesn't really prove anything. Like during my journey toward IT, one of the things that I learned the hard way is that you have to know some stuff. So I can have 100 certification, but if I go into like an interview or in a meeting, then you ask me what is UAT, and I can't really tell you upon my head, or you wait, you ask me a business rule, I can't tell you right there right away. So I believe in training. I believe in acquiring more knowledge. I believe in knowing more than you know chasing the certification. It's good because some people kind of require it. It's like you know it's like the minimum requirement for some people to have a certification. But I believe in training, know more than what you know yesterday. No more, you know. Yeah.
Good deal, good deal, and that's the truth. Whether you like it or not, you know, certification is the minimum. Even you said it, which is the truth. You know, you definitely will need the training, but that certification one is, if you don't have it, they can't even shortlist you. So imagine they won't be able
Mhm.
to even talk to you and things like that. About
Mhm.
great response. I like it. Nothing beats knowing it, because if you know it, you can be rest assured that they will come hunting, they'll come looking for you. So Temi, over to you. So the next one is a good one. So that now we have Richard caught up. So generalizing versus specialization. So are you for generalize? Come, let me be a guru here. Or do you want me to be a specialist? I want to be that know this thing, know it well, be that expert, or that generalist. I would just come, I just, know 1 million things, know 1 million things, and just be doing, getting my hands full, if you will, because that way you might be busy, busy, busy. You get. So what's your thing?
Sorry, is that question for me?
Yeah, yeah. Now we're back to you. Sorry, thank you.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, I think at the beginning we need the foundation, like be grounded in the foundation, understanding the platform, understanding what application development is. There are some basics that you just have to know. Then we can start building upon that. And then the way I see it is you can split it into the track that you are most interested in. If you want to be on a client-facing role or non-client-facing role. So if you're more interested in a non-client-facing role, then you need to deep dive into development. So being a dev person and just really, after knowing the foundation and everything, then deep diving into that and knowing everything about how to do development, and then maybe choosing a particular space, either ITAM, ITSM, ITOM, wherever you you think that you can best use your skills. But you're going to have to be a generalist first to be able to determine where you want to put where you want to specialize in. So that's the way I see it. But if you want to be, a client-facing role, then you're gonna have to be someone that can learn things, quickly and get an idea of, the big picture of what it is, what's the product, what benefit does the product serve, why would any company want to implement this product, and understand the structures that make up the product. So it just depends. Because with that, you're going to have to be broader and be able to learn things quickly and communicate and deliver solutions, fast. So that's my take on it. So essentially, in summary, you have to be a generalist first, and then eventually with experience, you determine where you want to focus or where you want to specialize.
Perfect stuff. That's really the key. Richard, what's your take? What's your take? Richie, do you have anything to add? Temi has given us a synopsis. Do you have anything to add?
Can you repeat the question again?
Oh, sure. Would you rather be a specialist at something or be a generalist at something? In this space. So would you tell us that you rather be a generalist who knows all of the models or many models, if you will, or would you rather be a specialist where you have a select model, you want to be the go-to person or the SME there? What's your take?
Um, I think I'd rather be a specialist on the models. Not that I won't have, understanding or how the other processes or models works, but I'd rather be a specialist, and so I could do or work within the tools to perfection. And if I need other kind of process from other models or features or application, I can employ the expertise of the other group or person. So then we could integrate, we can work together. But I think you could focus, dedicate more energy and time resources toward a program or application or models and be an expert in a certain field. But with that, you can still have knowledge on how other processes work.
Perfect, good deal. And that's the truth. Like Tammy said, and Richard said, whether we like it or not, it depends on where you stand in your career. So being a specialist is what you want to, get to. But there's that middle ground, generalizing specialist, right? What exactly does that mean? It means that I'm a subject matter expert in a couple of things, not the whole thing. There might be some areas you wouldn't want to touch. You just know how to go and look at the document and do it, but you don't want to be. In fact, you don't want to know the nitty-gritty. But that's the essence of it, being that generalists at your onset, to know a lot of models and be able to work in the space, be able to keep a job, so to say. If you're working for consulting, or so consulting organization, for a fact, you will be thrown a lot of models to work with, because definitely if you're a specialist there, except you are maybe a much more senior where you're a leader, and they will grab you on, because they need your expertise. If not, you might be on the bench for a long minute trying to look for where you would, fit. You can you can be on a Salesforce project, you can be on a ServiceNow project, you can be on a HRM project, you can be ITSM, you can be on pretty much anyone, because some of those projects, they might not be so long, some of them might be, every 90 days, but you would be busy. And then as you grow, as you journey along, it's you now map, these are the areas, and you play to your strengths. So don't come and say, play to your strength where you know that you'll be at ease, even if you're sleeping. Play to it. That way, you know that, because there will be bad days. That's just what life is, right? But you know that, even if that bad days, that you can always make something out of it, because you're there for the long haul. You're there, the big picture thinking. And then many of those are actually, those generalizing specialists are what you see in centers of excellence, where you see, it's like a hodgepodge of several folks doing the same thing. So whether it's HR's, center of excellence, or or engineering center of excellence, or you know, development center of excellence. But that's the key. Those folks are indispensable. They know quite a number of things where, if one is not there, the other people can fit in and do stuff. So people will always be that go-to and things like that. But great question. So I think that should be the last question that we have, other than, words of advice. So give us your, like an advice to your younger self when you're starting out. So what do you what do you what would you say you would have done better, and then especially for people trying to break in, and then, for us to grow within our career. I see a question from Noya or a feedback. So, as professionals within the ecosystem, what would be your advice for someone starting off, and is ensuring, okay, yeah, which is the same thing, and unsure what area to focus on? They basically do not have any focus area for now. Say, they only have their CSA. What next? What do you think? So, just words of advice, something you would, advise, your younger self to as well. So, go ahead. Take me over to you, then we get Richard and we go out.
Oh, okay. Like Inemaka always says that everybody's an analyst. I will focus on that, a role as a business analyst. I'm assuming that the person already has their CSA, and they already have that foundation, and they've also worked on the ITSM, studied the ITSM model, and they understand it. Understanding it is very important. Understanding the different pieces within ITSM and how they relate to each other. That part is very key, and it always comes out during the interview. And what problem is this solving? If you can articulate and be able to communicate that confidently during an interview, then that should help a lot. And while you're on that, while you're looking for another job, start learning HRS. When you research the market and you see what the market is requiring, what is the need now? Could be HRSD, ITSM. There are a lot of people in ITSM right now that understand ITSM. But then what's the next thing? ITSM is always like the base that almost everybody is taking for granted, that you know ITSM. So while you're still looking for a job, start learning HRSD, start learning, something else. And you definitely get something, because as an analyst, as a business analyst, what you're doing is getting the requirement. You're showing them what ServiceNow has. You're looking at what they don't have, and you're mapping, ServiceNow, their business into ServiceNow. So having that understanding simplifies it a lot, because you already know a lot about ServiceNow. So, like I said, focus on the analyst role if you are okay with the client-facing role. Or if you're not, then the dev role is also very popular. They're always hiring ServiceNow developers. So meaning that, try to get your card. So aside from the CSA, you need to focus on doing the CAD, ServiceNow certification. And just getting that and being able to communicate. Just need that confidence, and just start taking interviews. You might not be able to determine how much you know until you start taking interviews. Then you'll be surprised, So that's the way that's how I did it. I was just looking forward to take as many interviews as possible. Whether it's a fit or not, I'm just gonna go there and do my spiel and let them determine if they were gonna take me or not. And I was very fortunate. Maybe by my second interview, I got a job. So the key is get out there, do your basic learning, don't overthink it, get out there and start talking. So that's it.
Don't overthink it. Even if it's the only thing you remember. Don't overthink it. You don't know what you don't know. Put yourself out there. Great one. I like it. So thank you, Temi. Richard, so what's your advice for us? Let's close that out. Thank everyone for spending your Saturday with us. So what's your advice? What would you tell us to go and focus on? You know, to be better, to grow
Um,
within this space.
okay, so for me, when I first started, right? So the most difficult thing for me was, I would go to an interview, right? I did not fully understand, the whole process. Then as time goes on, right, I was able to describe the whole software development life cycle, right? I was able to explain agile methodology. I was able to understand, from gathering of requirement gathering to development through testing to quality assurance, all the way to deployment. Until I was able to describe that, that's when that's what built my confidence. And even without a certification at that time when I started, but because I was able to describe the whole agile methodology, software development life cycle, that gave me an edge over even somebody with a certification. So, that has to do with the question that we answered earlier for me. Then, another thing is, if you're trying to get into IT, especially at this period, you're going to be, a little bit frustrated. You have to have the spirit of, oh, I'm not gonna give up. This can be done. There are people doing it. It can be done. You just have to keep going. You practice more. You learn more. You go to more interviews. So there was a time, right? I will have like 3 interviews a day. So I will use the first interview to practice for the second interview, then the second interview to practice for the third interview. And I don't know the market right now, but you have to have a spirit that, I want to do this and I'm going to do it. And you have to, have a basic understanding, at least understand how the whole process works. And so because I learned a lot, then I study a lot, I keep up with my training, um, especially with the material that Nameka provide me. That put me in a place that when I started working, I was able to be a developer at the same time. I could be able to be a business analyst, so I could go out there, gather requirement. If something that's going to take less time, I would develop it at the same time. So by the time I started, I already learned too much. So I was able to do 2 jobs for them at the same time. So the bottom line, you know, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going, and at the end of the day, worth it. And yeah, I mean, I've had 4 interviews with a company, and they never called me back. And they called me back. They called me back a year later. That, oh, do you are you still interested? So you're gonna have interview. Don't feel disappointed. Don't feel devastated. You just have to keep going and keep moving. That's the bottom line.
A good deal, good deal. Great one. That's it. That's the truth. Temi said it. Richard said it. You don't know what you don't know. If you don't go out there interviewing, there's no way you can even test the waters. You can't. It's like that time when we finished studying. They give us the test to validate. So this is now your time to go out there and get that thing. You have it already, but you don't know if you don't put yourself out there. It's like you've been practicing for the day and never take the shot. Something like that. I think Shay Guy was asking whether you have a good understanding of JavaScript, JS, right? ServiceNow, unfortunately for us, is built using the JavaScript. There's Angular, there's HTML, there's CSS. There's a whole bit. But the beauty is, do you need to be a computer genius or computer science major or computer engineering major or MIS major? No, it's basic understanding, and everything in there is already template. It's all in templates. So understand the core concepts. ServiceNow provides a course for you, which is there in the learning plans. So I know they said now most of those should go to uh, Now Learning. But if you go take the look at the learning plans, they have what you really need there for you to study. The only thing is you have to use your PDI to do it. Use your PDI to do it. Yes, it's basic understanding of JavaScript. So a a basic knowledge of JavaScript. There's also a course offered by
Yeah.
Chuck Tomasi, Learn JavaScript
But
one. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, if you want to go if you want to go in developer direction, it's okay to understand JavaScript. But if you're in a business analyst direction, you don't really have to. But if you're doing a development, or maybe you're interested, you want to, try to understand, how the whole thing work. Even for me, I consider myself a developer, right? I still don't have to write, JavaScript all the time, because I can customize, I can configure. Um, there's a lot of code out of the box that can be leveraged for whatever you want to do within ServiceNow, and that's what makes ServiceNow, a great platform to be in.
Great question. Good deal. And that's the truth. Basic knowledge. Yes, definitely. You can be a pro coder. Remember, there's, no code, low code, and pro code. So you can start from that basic knowledge. Get intermediate if you want to, especially based on your path. But understand the concept and all these things. It throws the error. Google is there, the powerful tool, right? There's also sample code snippets that ServiceNow brings there under that what's it called, reference, under the reference material. It's there, it's all provided, all the APIs you can think of, at least to get you started. And then it's how to troubleshoot them, even the troubleshooting best practice, they're all provided there. So don't don't be waiting for when you're the expert or guru or whatever. No, don't do that. There's a lot to go in there, and then go do your best work. Everything has been provided to you to succeed. Even the like we see out there in the market, most of them are not are not the, how will I put it, most of them are not perfect, but every day they are learning. That's the key, that openness to engage and learn. That's it. Well, great presentation, great one, Tammy, great one, Richard, great one, everyone, for coming to share your Saturday with us. A couple of minutes, the videos will be out. Once again, we would also share Richard and Tammy's contacts so that you can go ahead and connect with them. Like I said, you can always continue to grow, co-share, co-learn within that space. The more network we build, the better. And then you never know, you might be on the project and you would need them, and then they would also be referring. Maybe you're coming on, they will give you the inside scoop. Maybe when you interview, maybe in their company, or you're having to come, they can give you a referral, say, hey, come work for me, I know this person, they can vouch for you, stuff like that. It's what community is really all about.
Thanks for putting this together, Namaka. This is awesome. Thank you so much for everything you do. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, all.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.